5 years ago, if you saw me walking down the street, you probably wouldn't think I'd be sitting here making this video today. You definitely wouldn't think I'd be teaching calisthenics. You definitely wouldn't think I'd be doing muscle ups, handstands, weighted pull-ups, or helping people around the world improve their fitness. Because back then, I was around 250 pounds. I was overweight. I got tired easier. I didn't have the confidence I have today. And honestly, I was just trying to figure life out. Now, maybe some of you watching can relate to that. Maybe because you've been thinking about starting your own fitness journey. Maybe you told yourself you'll start on Monday. Maybe you started before and quit. Maybe you're looking at fitness influencers online and thinking, that could never be me. Trust me, I've been there. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Because I don't want to talk about fitness the way most people talk about fitness. I don't want to tell you how many calories to eat. I don't want to tell you what supplements to buy. I don't want to tell you the perfect workout split. What I want to talk about is how fitness changed me as a man. Because when I look back at everything I've gained from fitness, the weight loss might not even be in the top 3. Muscles are nice and the skills are cool, but the biggest transformation happened between my ears. Fitness changed the way I think, the way I approach problems, the way I handle setbacks, the way I view myself, and ultimately the way I move through life. So if you're somebody who hasn't started yet, or maybe you're just getting started, this video is for you. Because what you're really building isn't a physique, you're building a person. And by the end of this video, I think you'll understand exactly what I mean. So let's get right into it. One of the biggest reasons I think people never start their fitness journey is because they secretly don't believe they can change. Not because they're lazy, but not even because they don't care, not because they don't want to be better, but because somewhere deep down they're convinced themselves that who they are today is who they'll always be. I know that feeling because I lived it. When I was around 250 pounds, fitness felt overwhelming. I look at people who have been training for years, people with incredible physiques, people doing things I couldn't imagine myself doing. Pull-ups, muscle-ups, handstands, and honestly, it felt like there were a mountain between where I was and where they were. Maybe you felt that way too. Maybe you're looking at someone else's success, and thinking, but they can do that, I can't. The truth is, most people don't see the beginning. They only see the result. They see the transformation photo. They don't see the hundreds of decisions that created it. They didn't see the muscle up. They didn't see the failed attempts. They see the confidence. They don't see the insecurity that came before that. And when I started, I didn't have some perfect plan. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I made mistakes, lots of mistakes, too many mistakes actually. I wasn't tracking anything perfectly. I wasn't eating perfectly. I wasn't training perfectly, but I was trying. And sometimes that's all you need in the beginning. You don't need perfection. You need momentum. Because once you start moving, things begin to change. I remember when the scale started moving, not dramatically, just a few pounds. And then there were a few more. Then I noticed my clothes fitting differently. Then I noticed I wasn't getting tired as easily. Then I noticed I felt better mentally. Then I noticed I was carrying myself differently. Then people started noticing, and eventually I realized something. I wasn't becoming a different person overnight. I was becoming a different person one decision at a time. That's the lesson that extends far beyond fitness. Because once you prove to yourself that you can change your body, you start wondering what else can change. If I can lose 75 pounds, what else am I capable of? If I learn my first pull-up, what else can I learn? If I can stay committed to this, what else can I stay committed to? That mindset changed everything. It changed how I approached my career. It changed how I approached content creation. It changed how I approach business. It changed how I approach life itself. Because fitness gave me proof. Proof that change wasn't something reserved for other people. It was available to me too. And it's available to you. You don't need to be special. You don't need to be genetically gifted. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to start. And looking back at that simple decision was to start one of the best decisions I've ever made, because it didn't just change my body, it changed my entire direction of my life. The next thing fitness taught me was discipline. And I think discipline is one of the most misunderstood words in self-improvement. When people hear discipline, they imagine some superhuman person who wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, never misses a workout, never eats a cheat meal, and always has everything figured out. That's not reality. At least that wasn't my reality. Discipline isn't doing something when you feel like it. Discipline is doing something when you don't. Because trust me, there were plenty of days I didn't feel like training. There were days I was exhausted from work, days I got home late, days I was stressed, days where the couch looked like a lot way more appealing than a pull-up bar. But something fitness has taught me very quickly is that your feelings don't always deserve a vote. The workout doesn't care if you're motivated, the dip bar doesn't care if you're tired, the pull-up bar doesn't care if you had a rough day. They're still waiting for you. And every time I chose to show up anyway, I got a little stronger mentally. Not just physically, mentally. Because every workout became proof that I could trust myself. I think that's one of the biggest problems people face today. They don't trust themselves. They say they're going to start Monday. Then Monday comes and goes. They say they're going to eat better. Then they don't. They say that they're going to change. Then nothing changes. Over time, they stop believing in their own words. Fitness has helped me rebuild that trust, one workout at a time, one rep at a time, one day at a time. And eventually, that discipline started showing up in other areas of life: content creation, business, relationships, personal growth. Because once you spent years forcing yourself to do hard things physically, doing things hard mentally becomes a lot easier. A lot of people think confidence comes from compliments. They think confidence comes from looking good. They think confidence comes from followers, likes, attention, validation. I don't. I think real confidence comes from evidence. When I was overweight, I wasn't walking around feeling confident, and it wasn't because I hated myself. It was because I hadn't proven much to myself yet. Confidence isn't something you magically wake up with. Confidence is earned. Every workout completed, every goal achieved, every challenge overcame, every promise kept. That's where confidence comes from. I remember the first time I got my first pull-up. For some reason, for some people that's a small thing, but for me it wasn't, because that pull-up represented something much bigger. It represented progress. It represented proof that effort works. Then came more pull-ups, then dips, then eventually muscle-ups, then handstands, and then weighted calisthenics. Every new skill became another piece of evidence that I was capable of more than I originally believed. And that's the thing about confidence. Confidence grows when you expand your comfort zone, not when you stay inside of it. The man you become by chasing difficult goals is more often valuable than the goal itself. Fitness has taught me that. This lesson might be the most important in the entire video. Fitness has taught me how to fail. And if you ever trained calisthenics, you know exactly what I mean. Nobody gets a muscle up on the first try. Nobody learns handstands overnight. Nobody masters advanced skills immediately. You fail. Over and over again. You jump, you miss. You fall. You try again. I can't tell you how many times I failed attempting a new skill, and that's exactly what I'm grateful for. Because fitness has changed my relationship with failure. Before fitness, failure felt personal. Failure felt like it was proof that I wasn't good enough. Fitness taught me something very different. Failure is information. Failure is feedback. Failure is a part of the process. Once you understand that, everything changes. Because suddenly you stop fearing failure. You start expecting it. You understand it's a part of growth. The same lesson helped me in content creation. Not every video performs well. Not every idea works. Not every project succeeds. And that's okay. Because if you're trying to grow, failure isn't optional, it's required. The people who succeed aren't the people who avoid failure. They're the people who learn how to keep going after it. Before we continue, I want to thank today's sponsor, Lucky Energy. One thing fitness has taught me is that if you want to perform at a high level, you need energy. Whether you're training, creating content, building business, working a demanding job, or chasing goals outside of the gym, energy matters. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy Lucky Energy. It's become part of my routine on those long days when I have training, content creation, editing, business responsibilities, and everything else that life throws at me. And if you like to try it for yourself, Lucky Energy is giving my audience 20% off. The link is in the description below. Check it out right after the video. Now, let's keep it going. One of the hardest lessons fitness teaches is patience, because everything today is designed to be instant entertainment, instant food, instant delivery, instant gratification. But fitness doesn't care about any of that. Fitness operates on a different timeline of consistency. You don't lose 75 pounds overnight. You don't build muscle overnight. You don't learn advanced skills overnight. You earn them. And sometimes that process takes a little longer than you. I remember times when I felt like progress was moving painfully slow. Weeks where I wanted faster results. Weeks where I questioned if what I was doing was enough. But I kept going. And eventually I realized something. Slow progress is still progress. That lesson changed how I approached everything. Building an audience takes time. Building a business takes time. Building financial freedom takes time. Building relationships takes time. Most people quit because they underestimate how long success takes. Fitness taught me to stay in the game long enough for results to appear. And that's the lesson that I'll carry for the rest of my life. When I first started training, fitness was selfish. And I don't mean that negatively. It was about me. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get healthier. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to improve my life. But something interesting happened. As I progressed, people started paying attention. Friends asked questions. Strangers asked questions. People wanted advice. People wanted help. Then social media entered the picture. And suddenly my journey wasn't just helping me anymore. It was about helping others. And that's when fitness became something bigger. I started getting messages from people who lost weight, people who got their first pull-up, people who finally started exercising because of something I posted. And I'll be honest, that feeling was hard to describe. Knowing that your struggles can help someone else. Knowing that your journey can inspire someone else. Knowing that something you went through can make another person's path easier. That's purpose. And fitness gave me that. The final lesson fitness taught me is that standards shape your life. When I was overweight, I accepted things that I wouldn't accept today. Not because I was weak, but my standards were different. Fitness gradually changed those standards. I expected more from myself. Not perfection, but just more effort, more consistency, more accountability, more growth. And once those standards rose, they started affecting everything else. I became less comfortable making excuses, less comfortable procrastinating, less comfortable settling for less than what I was capable of. Fitness taught me that your life often rises or falls to the level of your standards. If you demand more from yourself, you usually get more from yourself. And that's exactly what happened to me. When people look at my journey, they often focus on the physical transformation, going from 250 pounds to around 175 pounds. The calisthenics skills, the muscle ups, the handstands, the physique. But if you ask me, that's not the most impressive part. The most impressive part is who I became along the way. Fitness has taught me change is possible. Fitness has taught me discipline. Fitness has taught me confidence. Fitness has taught me how to handle failure. Fitness has taught me patience. Fitness gave me purpose and raised my standards. And most importantly, fitness has helped me become a better man. And if you're watching this right now and you're still waiting for the perfect time to start, let me save you time. The perfect time doesn't exist. You're never going to feel completely ready. You're never going to have everything figured out. Neither did I. The only difference between the old version of me and the person you're speaking to now is the one day I decided to start. Not perfectly, not confidently, not consistently. Well, yes, more consistently. And that changed everything. Maybe it can change for you as well. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, how has fitness changed your life? Or if you haven't started yet, what's the biggest thing that's holding you back right now? I read the comments and I generally love to hear your story. And if you're looking for more fitness content, whether it's calisthenics tips, training advice, workout tutorials, nutrition guidance, or just getting started on your fitness journey, make sure you subscribe to my fitness channel, Steve Gains. That's where I break down everything I learned from losing over 75 pounds, building strength through calisthenics, learning skills like the muscle ups or handstands, and helping others achieve their fitness goals. The link to my fitness channel is in the description below, so make sure you check it out and subscribe if you're serious about becoming a stronger, healthier version of yourself. Thanks for watching. Keep improving, keep growing, keep showing up for yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.